wacko, freak, child molester. You change your skin from black to white. You're a weirdo.
Michaelu Jacksonu za života su lijepili sve moguće etikete. No, možda nije bio baš tako čudan. Poput mnogih drugih, rabio je usluge koje Hollywood nudi svim velikim zvijezdama. Privatni detektivi, gangsteri, mistici i sljedbe postaju im nova obitelj i rješavaju sve velike probleme. Samo im treba platiti.
The Hollywood underbelly stinks. It reeks.
They come with fangs like werewolves, like vampires.
Everyone in Michael Jackson's life was out to use him.
U tajnom životu Michaela Jacksona otkrivamo što je Jackson zapravo bio. Proizvod sustava koji ga je stvorio i muzao, a na posljedku i uništio. Michael Jackson posmrtno će potpisati ugovor s novim hollywoodskim agentom. Najmoćniji je čovjek u gradu i s njegovom se ergelom nitko ne može mjeriti. Mark Rosler ne treba raskošan ured u Los Angelesu jer svoje stranke ne mora zadiviti. Sve su već pokojne. Ja sam novinar Jacques Peretti. Oduvijek sam mislio da će svijet Michaela Jacksona pamtiti po optužbama za zlostavljanje djece, ali prevario sam se. Ove godine Jackson najatraktivnija roba na hollywoodskom tržištu.
Good morning.
Hello. Is that Mark? I imagine. Nice to meet you. So these are all the pictures you've got of all your clients on the wall.
This is a Marilyn Merlot wine.
Wow.
And you can pour it in your Marilyn Merlot Andy Warhol wine glass.
Mark je otvorio prvu agenciju za pokojne zvijezde. Ime i lik svojih stranaka posuđuje najrazličitijim proizvodima i pritom okreće milijune dolara na godinu.
This is good. What's this?
A Marilyn purse. We've done hundreds of Marilyn purses over the years. Those sold for about $1,000 when they were made. Elvis cellophane right here.
Mark je pokojnog Elvisa preuzeo 80-ih godina u doba pada Elvisove popularnosti. Nikad nije požalio.
A musical hound dog of Elvis. Probably worth quite a bit of money today.
Lani je Elvis zaradio $60 milijuna.
What about Michael Jackson?
Well, I'd rather not publicly comment on any discussions I've had with the Jackson estate, but obviously with who we are and what services we offer, there have been different discussions with different people.
Do you think you might not be slightly cheapening the memory of these people by producing a doll like that?
Well, I don't think so.
She just looks a bit deranged there, doesn't she, with her hair?
Well, I think that the hair is probably such that you could move it however you wanted.
Na groblju vječni Hollywood mnoge zaboravljene zvijezde čekaju da netko i njih vrati iz zaborava. Za života je Michael Jackson bio nerješiva zagonetka. Možda nam u smrti prvi put ponudi rješenje. Jackson je u Hollywoodu našao smrt, no Hollywood ga je i stvorio i uništio. Sve je počelo 1969. kad se obitelj Jackson doselila s američkog srednjeg zapada. Michael Jackson krenuo je u školu California Prep, ekskluzivnu privatnu ustanovu za hollywoodsku elitu. Djeci Marlona Branda, Tessonija i Cher priključio se i Jacksonov pomladak. S Michaelom je u razredu sjedila i dječja televizijska zvijezda Danny Bonaducci iz humoristične serije Obitelj Partridge. Pristao je razgovarati sa mnom o Hollywoodu koji je stvorio Michaela Jacksona, industriji koja proizvodi zvijezde, ali i uništava živote.
This is my actual yearbook picture. Also in the B's, there's Christian Brando, who is no longer with us. But Michael Jackson.
There's Michael. You had a class of 3 and that was you guys?
Yeah, that was the entire 12th grade at Cal Prep. It was me, Christian Brando, and Michael Jackson. But I went to school with all the Jacksons because it went from 7th to 12th grade. And they were a wonderful family. Some of them had their quirks, but some of them did not at all. Michael couldn't have been a more normal guy.
No, živjeli su u doba velikih previranja. Denijeve i Michaelove školske dane zasjenilo je okrutno ubojstvo glumice u visovima prestižne četvrti Hollywood Hills.
5 persons, including actress Sharon Tate, were found dead at the home of Miss Tate and her husband, screen director Roman Polanski.
Sharon Tate u 8. je mjesecu trudnoće ubijena kao jedna od 9 žrtava sljedbenika propalog rokera Charlesa Mansona. Mjesec su dana sijali smrt, a masovna je paranoja u Hollywoodu djelovala i na učenike Jacksonove škole.
It permeated fear through the community of Hollywood that famous people were now targets. They're being targeted. At the time, we had a lot of people talking into their wrists about things being okay. The CIA was there all the time. Secret Service was there all the time. It was a very odd moment.
Zvijezde poput obitelji Jackson povukle su se na strogo čuvana imanja na hollywoodskim brežuljcima. Skrivali su se od novoga Charlesa Mansona. Generacija Michaela Jacksona maturirala je 1976. I tekako su osjetili posljedice odrastanja u Hollywoodu poslije Mansonova pohoda. Brandonova sina, Christiana, osudili su za ubojstvo. Sherina kći, čestiti Bono, promijenila je spol. Bonaduce se pak odao drogi. Kad su obitelj Partridge skinuli s programa, završio je na ulici i spavao u autu. No, Michael je raskrstio sa školskim kolegama. Kovao je planove za svijetlu budućnost neovisno o obitelji i sastavu Jackson 5. Jacksonov prijatelj i odvjetnik Brian Oxman pratio je Michaela tijekom cijele karijere. Michael mu se povjeravao do samoga kraja.
He wanted to break away from the influence of his family. He wanted his freedom. He wanted to be the maestro who conducted his entertainment, performance life. He was to be boss, and he didn't want anybody else to tell him what to do.
Michael je okrenuo leđa obitelji. Njegov prvi solistički album Off the Wall prodao se u 20 milijuna primjeraka, no ostao je bez obiteljskog zaleđa. Da za nj stvori zamjenu, okružit će se svitom kakva prati i druge hollywoodske zvijezde. Na vrhuncu slave Jackson će jednog dana nabasati na prijatelja iz prošlosti i nazrijeti kakva ga budućnost čeka.
And I'm standing, and this limousine comes to a screeching halt. The window comes down, it's Michael Jackson. And he looks at me and he goes, "Danny, how are you?" And I went, "I'm great, Michael, how are you?" And you could see I was a train wreck. He knew I wasn't okay. And he went, "Well, you look good, it's really good to see you." And I said, "You too, Michael, congratulations on all the success, talking to the biggest star in the world." And he waved as he walked down the street. And I watched the limousine go by to the biggest star in the world who had the exact same breaks I did. You know, he had the exact same life I did. And I thought, how did that not end up being me? Why is it him instead of me? And I'd like to say that's when I went home and sobered right up. But it took about 5 seconds for me to go, that sucks. And I crossed right across the street and bought the drugs.
Na hollywoodskim se jaslama hrane dva svijeta. Jedan put vodi u zvijezdanu slavu, drugi u samo uništenje. Jackson nije shvaćao da će uskoro krenuti Dannyjevim putom, a pritom će ga nova hollywoodska obitelj brižno držati za ruku. Na dodjeli Grammyja 1983. Jackson će dobiti rekordnih 8 nagrada za album Thriller, no u velikom trenutku slave i ne sluti kakav ga pad čeka. Nakon Thrillera, Jackson priprema još jedan spektakl, reklamu za Pepsi.
It was to be a blockbuster. That commercial was a life-defining experience that altered his very soul.
Na snimanju reklame za Pepsi prerano je eksplodirala vatrometna raketa i Michaelu teško opekla vlasište. Svjetska se superzvijezda preko noći pretvorila u opečenu žrtvu u invalidskim kolicima. Iz sjene su se pojavili ljudi pod maskama, s tabletama i injekcijama. Nova infrastruktura hollywoodskih usluga zauzet će mjesto obitelji. U ovoj prigradskoj četvrti Barbara Maywood čuva ključ sljedeće dionice u životu Michaela Jacksona. Radila je kao pomoćnica doktora Hoflina, jednog od najmoćnijih hollywoodskih estetskih kirurga, čovjeka koji će ponijeti važnu ulogu u Jacksonu u životu na operacijskom stolu.
Hi, is that Barbara?
I am Barbara.
I'm Jack.
You're Jack?
Nice.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh, who are these?
These are Sarah and Becca, but yeah, my family, if you will.
Yes.
Michael was, super special, kind and thoughtful, and I've got all kinds of things from the ranch and pictures and...
So, Barbara, do you remember the day when Michael's hair caught fire during the filming of a Pepsi ad?
I remember I was on the 101 freeway and there was an announcement on the radio that Michael was having his surgery that morning, and I said, if this traffic doesn't clear up, he's not having any surgery because all the instruments are in the back of my car. It was pretty intense, getting into the operating room, bodyguard in the operating room, one on the outside of the operating room. I mean, it was a kick. It was kind of a kick.
He has both second and third degree burns of the scalp. It takes several months for the complete healing process to take place.
Jackson se nakon nesreće uzdao u umijeće Barbarina šefa doktora Hoflina, čovjeka koji je oblikovao lice Hollywooda. Dotjerivao je cijeli grad. Gradio je nekropolu. Grad živih mrtvaca.
He invited me to a party that was for nothing but facial plastic surgeons, and people just sat around going, those are Dave's lips for sure. Yeah, those are Dave's lips. Dave did those. Oh, Jimmy did that nose. That's a Jimmy nose for sure. I mean, they were almost like playing a parlor game. Pick out whose body part was done by what doctor. Wow. It's really weird.
Ovo je Fenton Bailey, elitni hollywoodski producent. Radio je s mnogim zvijezdama, od Pamela Anderson do Macaulaya Culkina, i osvjedočio se kako hollywoodska mašinerija iznutra funkcionira.
The plastic surgeon in Hollywood is the closest thing to God that there actually is. He's taking out ribs and carving people up and sculpting them in his own image, and to have that power, to have a star laid out unconscious in front of you. They've given up all their power. They cannot do anything. They are completely in your hands as you get out the knife. That must be kind of a pretty heady rush. And you must feel that you are a kind of God if you're that plastic surgeon.
Michael je i lice i karijeru prepustio Hoflinovim kirurškim rukama. No možda nije trebao vjerovati hollywoodskim liječnicima. Barbara je 1999. tužila doktora Hoflina. Tvrdila je da je vidjela kako je liječnik tijekom kirurškog zahvata Jacksonu milovao penis i izbijao šale. Navodno bi čak i lagao da ga je operirao, jednostavno bi pomaknuo sature. Također je tvrdila da je Sylvester Stallone banuo u operacijsku dvoranu dok su mu prijateljici povećavali grudi i od Hoflina tražio da joj bez njezina znanja ugradi veće usadke.
That trust has been abused a lot by surgeons.
I really can't go there. Cut. I know who you're talking about. It was there. I can't. You lay it on the floor.
Hoflin je te optužbe žestoko opovrgavao. Barbara i zbog izvansudske nagodbe ne može ponoviti pred kamerom.
The stress of having to see what you saw and then keep a lid on it.
Very hard. But doing what you can to stop it and not being able to. So what I always tell patients, I only work in the kitchen. I don't own the restaurant. So that's basically what it was.
Dok je Jackson bio živ, svi su mislili da je ovisan o estetskoj kirurgiji, no zapravo je bio ovisan o postoperacijskim sredstvima protiv bolova. Propisane je lijekove nabavljao sasvim legalno, kod uglednog ljekarnika. Mickey Fine prava je institucija na Beverly Hillsu još od 1962. Evo kako radi holivudska ljekarna. Sam je lokal zalogajnica, no pravi je biznis trgovanje tabletama iza staklene pregrade. Naravno, najveće holivudske zvijezde ne moraju osobno doći u ljekarnu. Mickey Fine lijekove dostavlja i na kućnu adresu. John od jutra do mraka holivudskim brežuljcima vozi kombi dupkom pun sedativa i stimulansa. Nakon Jacksonove smrti u ljekarni i Mickey Fine provedena je racija. Ispostavilo se da ne snosi nikakvu krivnju, samo u zakonskim okvirima opslužuje liječnike koji propisuju lijekove.
It is a scandal. If that doctor refuses to give that prescription, he's no longer going to see that patient, not going to see Michael Jackson anymore. He can't speak up. So it's a terrible catch-22.
It's called doctor shopping. Okay, so you got to get 10 different doctors. It's a very time-consuming thing, but it works.
Michael had his various doctors, and it wasn't just in Beverly Hills. It was all across the country that he would pick up medications from those physicians.
Jackson se poslije nesreće pod sedativima kao živi mrtvac povukao na svoje imanje. No kad bi došao k sebi, tražio je barbarinu lice.
That was part of their day. Today I'm going to the doctor. They don't think anything of it. Others would come in with entourage, with bodyguards, secretaries, pets, and others wouldn't come until it was after dark. And for him to say, you know, Barb, can you come pick me up and take me on a few errands? Sure. You know, it wasn't uncommon.
That's what he'd actually asked for, to go on a few errands.
Just to run a few errands, because he didn't want the entourage. He didn't want the hoopla. We'd jump in my little car and off we'd go and run errands, go to the library.
And so he was kind of craving things that normal people do.
Exactly.
Jackson se pokušavao riješiti ovisnosti, no navika je uporno jačala. Sve se više oslanjao na svitu savjetnika, liječnika, odvjetnika i pomagača koja je samo rasla.
You have to have an entourage. You've got to have a publicist. You've got to have a manager. You've got to have an agent. And then from there, the bench just gets bigger and deeper. You know, you need an acupuncturist. You need a dietitian. You need a massage therapist. Oh, you need a therapist for sure. Maybe several. Maybe you need, you know, Kabbalah. You know, there are all these people, gardeners, landscapers, interior designers, very important, florists. You know, all these people who become your sort of entourage. The only thing is, you are paying them. Suddenly all your friends are a business that you have to support and that you have to keep working and have to keep generating more and more money to keep their expectations satisfied as well.
Behind the walls of the compound, nothing is safe. Nothing is safe. You can have up all the walls you want. The second you let somebody in, you've let somebody in that can profit from knowing on you. Knowing what happens behind the walls at an A-lister star is valuable, and it's an occupation.
And when you were in Hollywood, who did you trust?
No one. There's a Judas in every crowd. You don't want to be part of the entourage. You want to be the guy with the entourage. So the entourage starts making moves on their own.
Bobby Trendy, Jacksonov bivši dekorater, savršeno ilustrira kako svita funkcionira. On se u Hollywoodu prvo uključio u svitu Nicole Smith, svojedobno najslavnije plejbojeve djevojke iz duplerice poslije Marilyn Monroe.
Before I came here, I saw Nicole Smith on TV. She was beautiful. Her hair was shiny like glass. Her lips were just perfectly heart-shaped. Everyone wanted to be Nicole Smith.
Tabletama je podlegla 2 godine prije Michaela Jacksona. Bobby je brzo postao glavna uzdanica.
As things were getting worse, as the train crash, slow motion train crash was kind of taking place, that people walked away.
More people wanted to be around her. Vultures, I call them.
No, Bobby je došao na svoje upravo zahvaljujući Anninoj smrti.
Friends say, Bobby, you are the real Nicole Smith. And it was exciting that I became her, you know. I have fancy clothes to wear now. I have diamond rings to wear. I have a nice car to drive. Everything that Anna embodied, I now have.
U Hollywoodu prirodni odabir funkcionira upravo tako. Nametnik mora proždrijeti nositelja da može zauzeti njegovo mjesto.
Hollywood is a schizophrenic place because by day it's all about work, power lunches, power breakfast, meetings, driving around in your car, whatnot. And then by night, it's parties, it's, giving free rein to your button-down self. So in a way, it's like by day the zombies are walking the street, and then by night the vampires take over. Except the master and servant model is actually flipped, and the star is actually the slave to all these other people.
No, pripadnici Jacksonove svite nisu samo spletkarili, svi su ga htjeli iskoristiti.
Every time he turned around, somebody else had their hands in the cookie jar. The greed, the theft that was taking place around him was so enormous. He could not control it. He couldn't do anything about it. He never figured it out. He said to me one time, he says, Brian, I hire the people that steal from me the least. I don't want to hire people who steal from me a lot.
Jackson se odlučio za radikalno rješenje. Ni manje ni više nego staljinističku čistku u svome krugu na svim razinama. Htio je potpun nadzor nad cijelom vojskom. Probrao je vrh hijerarhije i ustoličio novog menadžera. Peter Wisner nije pripadao hollywoodskom sustavu, uopće nije bio Amerikanac. Zanimalo me zašto se Michael obratio upravo njemu.
It's odd. It's an odd place to come. It's a kind of run-down industrial estate in Frankfurt. This is him.
Neobično je da je Jackson za menadžera odabrao Dietera Wisnera. Njemački poduzetnik nije imao nikakve veze s glazbenom industrijom.
Hi, I'm Jack.
Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Right.
So that's my office.
It's like a shrine to Michael Jackson.
Dieter je Jacksona upoznao slučajno. Nudio mu je da promovira izotonični napitak Mystery, nešto kao Red Bull s Michaelovim imenom, no taj napitak nikad nije dospio u proizvodnju.
He asked you to come in to the court. So what happened there?
He told me to get rid of everybody.
So he was asking to get rid of basically people who'd been the old entourage.
Exactly. He changed even his bodyguards. he changed everybody. We had a new accountant. We had new lawyers around him. We had everything. We created everything and it was really, really good.
Jackson je od Dietera tražio projekte za budućnost. Trebao se zvati Svijet MJ.
Oh, yes.
We created it already.
This was your idea, wasn't it? MJ Universe.
Dieter je bio zadužen za provedbu plana.
Can you just talk me through what the MJ Universe was actually going to look like?
Mentor program, that music project, film projects, game projects, new technology. Neverland 2 in Vegas.
This is incredible.
He knew exactly what he wants. So the problem was Hollywood and the people over there didn't give him a chance for this at all.
Jackson se obratio čovjeku izvan hollywoodskog kruga i to je blokiralo projekt.
I had a feeling that I was not welcome at all. There was people over there, they called me Hitler. And I think this is wrong. I had nothing to do with Hitler.
Jackson je okrenuo leđa hollywoodskim uslugama, ali uskoro će shvatiti da mu bez njih nema opstanka. 1993. na pomolu je velika afera. Morat će se obratiti ljudima u sjeni, koji u Hollywoodu rješavaju sve probleme i pritom ni od čega ne prezaju.
Michael Jackson stands accused of an extraordinary catalogue of offences.
The pop star is accused of abusing a 13-year-old boy. He's dropped out of sight after revealing his addiction to painkillers.
Trying to see the unraveling of Michael Jackson.
Michaela Jacksona 1993. optužuju za spolni odnos s 13-godišnjim Jordijem Chandlerom. Optužbe je iznio dječakov otac, Evan Chandler. Kad u životu velikih hollywoodskih zvijezda nešto pođe po zlu, ljudi za koji nikad nećete čuti pokreću golemu operaciju čišćenja, nude uslugu po mjeri i vade vas iz svakog škripca. Jackson se obratio ovom čovjeku. Paul Barezi, privatni je istražitelj. U Hollywoodu je poznat pod nadimkom utjerivač.
I will go in your trash can and get an entire profile on you. I'll find out what your medications are, where you bank, where you shop, if you're having an affair. You'd be amazed what I can find in a trash can. The Hollywood underbelly stinks. It reeks. Sometimes you want to puke. That's how bad it is. This is the corner of Curzon and Santa Monica, and this is where Eddie Murphy picked up the Samoan transvestite. He claimed that she was in distress, and he, being the good Samaritan that he is, offered to help her.
Barezi se proslavio radom za odvjetnika glumca Eddie Murphyja.
Eddie Murphy was the driver of the vehicle, and the passenger was arrested for a prostitution warrant.
All of the transvestites came out of the woodwork alleging that they had sexual relations with Eddie Murphy. What I did for Eddie was I rounded up all of these transsexuals and I helped them all see their way clear to recanting their story. And the one that I didn't manage to pay off fell to her death from this building right here. I can tell you this, that I didn't have a hand in it.
Barezi je svojevrstan gromobran za hollywoodsku prljavštinu. Zvijezdu može osloboditi krivnje ili pokopati, ovisi tko mu prvi plati. Kad je pukla afera oko Jordija Chandlera, Barezi se našao u taboru Jacksonovih protivnika. Obratili su mu se Jacksonova kuharica i podvodnik, Stella i Philip Lemark. Htjeli su prodati priču.
He said, look, we saw Jackson molesting Macaulay Culkin. Well, what did he do? We saw him groping Macaulay Culkin over his pants. They said, we want $100,000. I got him $100,000 on the table, cash, from the Inquirer. It took me 3 days to do it, but by then they met an attorney and said, look, I can get you $500,000. Forget about Peretti. And this time they said that they saw Michael Jackson not groping Macaulay Culkin outside the pants, but the hand went inside the pants now.
Story had got better.
The story they embellished and they lied, you know. They just lied, flat out lied.
Yeah.
And I recorded it.
Barezi će odigrati tipičnu hollywoodsku dvostruku igru. Ide ravno u Jacksonov tabor i obraća se Anthonyu Pelikanu, čovjeku koji je orkestrirao Jacksonov pokušaj da zataška skandal. Ocrnio bi ili podmitio svakoga tko bi iznio bilo kakve optužbe. Pelikana su u Hollywoodu zvali grijehožder, jer je jednom prilikom rekao: ja im gutam sve grijehe, da oni mogu s osmihom kročiti na crveni sak.
Pelikana said this is going to be very helpful to Jackson. Because it discredited Stella and Philippe.
You've switched sides now. You're like, this could bring Jackson down, but now this could save Jackson instead.
That's right.
Optužbe bračnog para Lemark odbačene su kao neosnovane. Macaulay Culkin i onako ih je oduvijek poricao. Istu je taktiku Pelikano primijenio u slučaju Evana Chandlera. Potajno ga je snimio. Pelikano nije gubio vrijeme. S mjesta je objavio dokazni materijal. Iako su optužbe izgubile vjerodostojnost, Chandler je dobio $22 milijuna da prestane prodavati priču. Takav je u Hollywoodu običaj. Pelikano je radio i za hollywoodske glavešine. Disneyevu šefu Michaelu Ovicu skupljao je dokaze protiv neprijatelja. Pomogao je i komičaru Chrisu Rocku kad ga je neka manekenka poslije seksa pokušala ucijeniti.
I'm better off getting caught with needles in my arm. Don't worry about it, babe. You're not going to get no blood in the career. I'm not going to let it happen.
I Courtney Love ga je nazvala u sporu oko ostavštine rock grupe Nirvana.
I'm an old-style Sicilian. I go one way. My clients are my family, and I'm very heavy-handed, honey.
I need heavy-handed, baby.
Jacksonovi ljudi nisu se služili nikakvim osobitim sredstvima. Hollywoodske zvijezde ovakve usluge naručuju rutinski, kao da je riječ o čišćenju bazena. Paul Barresi znao je kako hollywoodski sustav funkcionira, jer je u njemu i sam gradio karijeru, ne kao privatni istražitelj, nego u porno industriji.
Well, this is the first time I was in Playgirl, and that's the second time. This was in 74, and this was in 84. 10 years later.
Paul Barresi, the intergalactic hero of space fantasy and march. We think he looks just as heavenly now as he did 9 years ago.
Yeah. Heaven. Yeah. I find that a lot of these so-called bigwigs, they're the first to criticize me. But I want to tell you that they're biggest scumbags in this form a porn star could ever be. I just want to hammer them.
Barresi je uspješan jer razumije hollywoodski jezik i simboliku privatnog istražitelja.
Yes.
And you carry a gun when you go out?
Sometimes I do.
Do you think that being a private investigator is in a way your way of being in the movies? Because it's the character of, Bogart, the Maltese Falcon, it's the character of Jack Nicholson in Chinatown. It's a Hollywood part that you can play.
Well, that's exactly true, and there isn't much of a journey from being an actor to being a private investigator. So in many ways, it's a real-life movie unfolding. It's a world that I'm creating for myself.
1994. carstvo Michaela Jacksona potresle su optužbe za seksualno zlostavljanje djece. Preživio ih je, no sad je trebao popraviti narušenu sliku u javnosti i opet je posegnuo za propušanom hollywoodskom taktikom, zvijezdanim vjenčanjem. Oženio se Lizom Marie Presley, deklariranom sljedbenicom Scientologije.
Did you ever have any experience of Scientologists trying to get Michael to join the church?
Michael was solicited by the Church of Scientology over and over and over again. They wanted contributions and money from him. I believe I remember seeing that he did make some contributions.
Do you think they were close to securing a deal with Michael?
No, they were never close to security. They tried, but it never happened. Not when I was there.
Right.
U gradu u kojem nikomu ne možete vjerovati, na prvi ćete pogled o sljedbama steći varav dojam.
These things that are considered cults by some people are really kind of your new family. Your old family and your old friends have kind of abandoned you. You've outgrown them. They're jealous. Whatever the reasons are, the Scientologists often seem very stable to me. I don't see the crime.
Da je Jackson prešao na Scientologiju, možda bi ga u jeku optužbi za zlostavljanje djece nova crkva poduprla, za razliku od rođene sestre Latoje koja se na nj javno okomila. U Hollywoodu pristupanje sljedbi nije puka nuspojava slave, nego mudro osiguranje. Pomozi sljedbi i ona će te štititi. Cijeli se svijet smijao poznatom Scientologu Tomu Cruiseu nakon ispada u emisiji o Prvi. Tako je glumac izgubio ugovor s Paramountom.
So when Cruise had his kind of mad couch moment, people were looking like they were going to walk away from him. People
they
in Hollywood
did walk away from him. They ran away from him.
But the Scientologists were there.
Absolutely, they were there.
U ekscentričnom i paranoičnom hollywoodskom svijetu sljedbe nude pravu zamjensku obitelj. No, Jackson nije imao sljedbu u kojoj bi potražio utočište kad je brak s Lizom Marie Presley 1996. propao. Umjesto toga uputio se u dobro poznatu zgradu i malenu liječničku ordinaciju dermatologa Arnolda Kleina u neposrednom susjedstvu ljekarne Mickey Fine. Klein je u pravome hollywoodskom stilu zadovoljavao sve Jacksonove potrebe, od kolagenskih injekcija do krema za kožu. Našao mu je i novu suprugu, bez obveze. Debbie Rowe bila je Kleinova medicinska sestra. Jacksonu je rodila prva 2 djeteta, princa Michaela i Paris, no unaprijed se odrekla svih skrbničkih prava. Prema pričama, uslužni se Klein i dodatno potrudio. Navodno je donirao vlastito sjeme, no u potonjim ispitivanjima nije htio izrijekom priznati je li ga donirao Michaelu. Dotle je u stvarnom svijetu Jacksonova svita ponovno narasla preko svake mjere i upravo će netko iz njegova kruga uzrokovati konačni slom.
An arrest warrant for Mr. Jackson has been issued on multiple counts of child molestation.
2003. krenuo je novi val optužbi za seksualno zlostavljanje djece. 13-godišnji Gavin Arviso i njegova obitelj tvrdili su da ga je Jackson zlostavljao.
It was 2 o'clock in the morning. And I saw on my cell phone that it was the ranch calling me. And I answered, hello. There was no answer. Hello. And then I would hear, he was crying. I said, Michael, it's okay. It's okay. And he says, why, Brian? Why are they doing this to me?
Michaela su izveli pred sud na osnovi optužnice u 5 točaka za zlostavljanje djece. No zapravo je na sudu završio zbog ovog čovjeka iz svoga najužeg kruga, filmskog producenta Marka Scheffela.
Part of the entourage was someone called Mark Schaffel, who was a videographer. Is that correct?
He made something for Michael, yeah.
What was it he
What
made?
can I give?
Do you know anything about Mark Schaffel's career at all?
I heard a lot, of course.
That he produced gay porn films?
That's right.
Pod pseudonimom Mark Fredericks, Schaffel je svojedobno režirao gej porno klasike poput Pogleda u strast i Šefčeve pjesme.
Michael freaked out when he came close to him.
Right.
Michael told me, do you know what he did?
You employed Mark?
No, I didn't.
The relationship with Mark Schaffel is what ultimately was the source of the charges which were brought against Michael Jackson. The reason why Michael Jackson was indicted was because of the connection that these people had to the pornography industry. And the things that were on their computers were disgusting when the police seized them. It was the prosecution's belief that they could connect these people and make their sins Michael Jackson's sins.
Na udaru se našao i Jacksonov pouzdanik, menadžer Dieter Wiesner. Zbog veza s obitelji Arvizo, optužba ga je zajedno s Markom Schaffelom i još 3 osobe proglasila sudionikom u uroti. Sve se slomilo na Jacksonu. Policija je prikupljala dokazni materijal.
Everyone in Hollywood, every aspect of the business is in some manner connected to the pornography industry.
It's an absolute labyrinthine nightmare, isn't it?
This is the lecture that Michael Jackson gave me. They're all manipulators. They're all out for themselves. They all want a piece of me. Everyone in Michael Jackson's life was out to use him.
Jacksonu je odzvonilo, iako su ga oslobodili krivnje. Šefl se pak spasio. Iz Jacksonove svite prešao u službu njegove bivše žene Debbie Rowe kao njezin neslužbeni agent. Michael nakon 2005. tone sve dublje i dublje u mrak. Traži nekoga komu bi mogao vjerovati, srodnu dušu u bezdušnu gradu. No Hollywood ima druge planove.
This is it.
2009. Michael Jackson posljednji put nastupio uživo. No, iza kulisa i dalje je potajice bio ovisan o sredstvima protiv bolova.
He was treated like he was some kind of a pack animal, some kind of a racehorse, where his only purpose in life, his only existence was to make money for other people. He was given drug after drug after drug to pump him up.
Jacksonov se tabor u posljednjem pokušaju obratio ustanovi smještenoj pri samome vrhu hollywoodskih brežuljaka. Vodio ju je dr. Howard Samuels, glavni autoritet za liječenje od ovisnosti na hollywoodski način. Ovdje se neuspješno liječila Lindsay Lohan. Poput svih hollywoodskih atrakcija, i ovo je lječilište osobito.
This is one of our houses. One of the things that is so very important is we want to seduce people in coming into treatment.
Right.
You know, beautiful pool, beautiful house, beautiful views. Doesn't make a difference. And this is a nightmare for the drug addict alcoholic. This is the main house. Here, this is the kitchen here. You know, this is all part of the community atmosphere. This is a double room. You know, they wake up at 7:30 in the morning, they make their beds, they put away their clothes.
It's like they're children, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know what I get? You. Have somebody else do it. I didn't come here. I didn't pay all this money to, you know, make my own bed.
Nekoć su zvijezde na odvikavanju trijeznili sramotom. Elizabeth Taylor morala je u klinici Betty Ford čistiti zahode.
This here is a work that one of our clients did. He's very creative.
But he doesn't look that happy, does he? No.
Danas ih pak treba mamiti na liječenje. I tu se granice još više mute.
Do you ever become friends with patients?
Yes, but after about a year, you know, I can get closer to them after a period of time.
Do you not think that's inappropriate?
Right away it would be, but after a year or two, no.
Nekoć su klinike za odvikavanje bile svijet za sebe, no danas su potonule u mrežu hollywoodskih usluga. Ugađaju slavnima, primaju ih i otpuštaju kako je njima drago i usto im čak propisuju antidepresive.
I know people who will check into a rehab and they will pay the $40,000 for the 30-day stay and they're not really addicted to anything. Wouldn't you have paid $40,000 to see Michael Jackson spill his guts every day for 30 days?
Yeah, because then you can come out and sell your story.
Which they did, often. And at AA meetings in Hollywood, I know of 2 meetings where I believe 30% of the crowd, in a packed crowd at certain meetings, I don't believe that they even drink.
Michael Jackson je znao da u Hollywoodu nigdje nije siguran. Zvijer vreba i na liječenju. Uoči niza koncerata koji će mu donijeti smrt, Jackson je odustao od liječenja i klonio se svoje svite. Tražio je da ga odvezu u zapuštenu Los Angelesku četvrt, na sastanak sa spiritisticom, velečasnom June Gatlin.
Anoint you, Sir Jack.
Zašto se obratio baš ovoj ženi? Dojma se kao stvarna inačica lika Whoopi Goldberg u filmu Duh. Kao i svi u Hollywoodu, June ima svoju svitu. Gospođe iz crkve žele zabilježiti posjet filmske ekipe. No, prvo moramo stvoriti pravi ugođaj.
And he wrote here, today was like being baptized in the sea of life. I love you, Michael Jackson. He didn't have many people he could trust, but he turned to you and he asked you for advice.
I know he could trust me because I wasn't in awe. You know, I wasn't kissing his feet or pulling at the hem of his garment.
Did you sense that he was in trouble?
That he was going to die? Yeah, I knew he was going to die. Individuals that are thieves, individuals who are determined to murder a spirit, they come with fangs like werewolves, you know, like vampires.
June je Jacksona razumjela jer je i sama bila dječja zvijezda, ali ne u glazbenoj ili filmskoj industriji, nego u pentekostalnoj crkvi.
People would gravitate towards me and when they touched me, they would feel better. I didn't, because I could feel life being pulled off me. It's like somebody drawing your energy off you, you know, and it's like, wow, you can feel it leaving. I considered it to be a curse.
Surely you would recognize the similarity of what happened to you and what happened to Michael at that age.
He's born with it, like I'm born with this. So maybe that's what he was asking. Well, June, how do you do it? You know, it's like, how do you live with it? How do you handle it? How do you? And I said, honey, we just have to do what we have to do, you know, and then we can fall apart later.
Michael Jackson ovamo je došao u potrazi za vlastitom dušom. Tražio je nekoga tko razumije hollywoodski sustav i može mu pomoći da objasni što mu se u životu dogodilo. U posljednjim mjesecima života Jackson je kraj uzglavlja držao izbljedjelu crno-bijelu fotografiju zaboravljene filmske zvijezde.
Fatty Arbuckle was a star who was accused falsely of
raping a 14-year-old girl. And yes, he felt a close kinship.
I think that he had a picture of Fatty Arbuckle to remind him that he's not alone in the world. This ruined this guy. This same kind of thing ruined this guy, and there's a history of this in Hollywood.
Danas je Michael Jackson pokojni i više ne može ometati vlastitu karijeru. Hollywood je preuzeo uzde i posmrtni će se agenti pobrinuti da mu budućnost ne zasjene nikakve afere. Iza paravana od smoga tajna infrastruktura cvate i dan danas. Sanira štetu, štiti i tabletama kljuka novi naraštaj zvijezda. Pritom ima samo jednoga pravoga gospodara, sam Hollywood, koji je odbio dati izjavu za ovaj film.